economic topic, that is people as resource. Students, in the last topic or in the last video, we have already studied about that how education and health has made potential in the invested more of the potential in the human, and due to that common human has converted into a human resource, human capital. In the last video, we have studied about the story of the Sakal and story of Vilas. We have seen how the education made the life, education and better health has made the life of the Sakal so nice, flourishing and so good, and he became a capital, human capital for his family, and he became the asset for his family. And we have seen how the Vilas, he was not keeping a good health, and he was suffering with the arthritis. Mother was also not keeping well, and he has no interest for the education. So both the things, education, training and the health, was missing from the story of the Vilas. And due to that, the life of the Vilas was really not good, and he was not leading a very good life. He was living a very poor life and poor conditions. He was not able to help his family also because he has not acquired education, he has not got any vocational training, he has not got any speciality in his life, he has not acquired the best education, and he has not gone to the school, and he was not keeping well also. So due to that, there was a great trouble, and he has faced a lot of hardships, and his family also has struggled to survive, and they were unable to get the proper treatment also because they were lacking financially. Also they are lacking because they were not getting the good jobs. He was not educated, he was not healthy, so he was not able to get the good job and good facilities also. So students, now in the next we will study about that people, they are engaged in different activities. People do different activities. Students, in class 9, in class 8 you have studied about class economic activities, non-economic activities, market activities, non-market activities. So today we are going to study all these activities which generates money. They're economic. It generates money, economic activities. So you can see that we are going to study about economic activity and the non-economic activities. And we are going to see what all activities are done by men and what all activities are done by the men and women. You can see that people has been engaged in various activities, whatever work they are doing it, okay, or whatever occupation they are doing it. The various activities have been classified into the three main categories. So before going to the three main categories, I just wanted to tell you that there is a difference in the activities done by the men and the women. You can see here the economic activities done by the men and women. See students, we know that the whatever activity that we people do, and we generate money, and this really helps the country in the economic development. If my development would be their country's development directly, if everybody would start working, then it would be automatically a government is developing, the country is developing, our economy is growing, our economy is developing. There is a development in the country. So we do different activities through which we earn money. But students, you know that there are different kinds of work, that is, especially there is a division of work, you can call call. There's a divide where work is divided. What work is divided? You already know that, okay, Papa will go outside and he will go and he will work and he will earn money and he is going to take care of the family. Okay, he is going to feed the family. So that means the father or the male member, he go outside and he work for the family. Fine. Number 2, what mama is going to do, what females are going to do is, the females are going to take care of the household activities. They are going to do all the things at home. They are going to nurture the baby. They are going to take care of the baby, and they are going to prepare food, and they are going to, whatever things are required, cleaning, washing, preparing the food, serving the food, and other household activities would be done by the female. Okay, so this is the division of work that you have, because India is a patriarchal society. India is a patriarchal society. You can see that majority, I'm not saying everybody, I'm saying majority. Almost all the important decisions in the family, they are taken by the father or the grandfather. That means whosoever would be the head of the family is going to take all the important decisions. So that means in a patriarchal society, the division of labor is also there. What work the males are going to do and what are the works that females are going to do. It is a list of work for the males also and for the females also. So students, women, they do all kind of domestic work. They are engaged in doing the different work. Men's, they go in the field or in the farms or they work in the factories, and then they are working and they are earning money for the family. We have already seen that how the Sakal's mother was doing. Mother was taking care of household. Papa was an agricultural laborer, used to go work outside and used to work. Okay, whereas the mother was not working. Okay, mother Sheila, the name of the mother was Sheila, she was not working. Whereas in opposite, you can see that what Geeta was doing. Geeta was the mother of fisher. She was doing fishing of a fisherman. She used to work outside. She used to work. She used to do fishing. She used to go to the market. She used to sell the fish, and she used to earn the money, and then she used to take care of the house. See, there is a difference between both the mothers. One was working, one was not working. Other female was working. Why Geeta has started working? Because father was not there. The husband of Geeta and the father of the Vilas passed away. That is why she was bound. She was forced to work outside. Otherwise, earlier she was not working. So that means there is a list of work that is done by men and women. So students, you know that there are different kinds of activities that we people do to earn. Why we do these activities? What are activities? Occupation that we do. The work that we do becomes an occupation. Okay. If what I am doing is I am teaching. This has become my occupation, and with this occupation I am earning, so this has become an activity. Okay, this has become an activity. Or a potter, he brings a mud, he prepares a pot and make different woods from the clay. He makes different things and different utensils. That becomes his occupation, and that has become his activity. Okay, and with that activity he is earning money. Okay, so students, we have different activities: economic activities and non-economic activities, market activities and non-market activities. One by one we are going to see this. Okay students, so students, you can see that we have three different sectors. We have three sectors in terms of activities. What all activities that the people are doing in the world or in the country, we have classified them in three categories. We have classified them in three categories. What the classification that we people have done? You can see that all we have divided into three categories: primary, secondary and tertiary. Primary, secondary and tertiary. These are the three different sectors that we have divided. So we have list of activities that will come in primary sector. We have another list will come in the another sector. We have another list of work that will be coming in the tertiary sector. So we have three important sectors. All the economic activities we have divided in three different sectors. We'll take one by one and then we'll come in the economic and non-economic. So first we are talking about economic activities. Okay. See students, when all those activities, economic activity I am talking about, all those activities, all those work that we do to earn money, those activities are known as economic activities. Fine? All those activities we do to earn money, or by doing that activity we get money, those activities are known as economic activities. Fine? Non-economic, we are doing some activity but we are not getting money. Okay, we are doing some work but we are not getting money in return. उसके बदले में हमें कोई पैसा नहीं मिल रहा. So any activity that we do without getting any money, we are not getting money in return, then those activities are known as non-economic activities. So have you understood? When any work that we do, if we are getting money, then economic activities. If we do any work and if we are not getting money in return, then non-economic activities. Fine? So here you can see that primary, the first sector that we people have is primary. In economic we have in economic activities, the first sector that we people have is primary activities. Economic activities which are related to agriculture. See primary mein what all comes? Agriculture, poultry farming, rearing of hens, fishing, horticulture, growing of fruits and vegetables. We have studied all this in class 8. Animal husbandry, taking care of the animals. Mining, quarrying, mining, taking out the minerals from the earth crust. Quarrying, that is also from the open cast mining we do. All these activities are called primary activities. All these are primary activities. Natural resources are just extracted in primary activities. See, students, they are prime. They all are related to the nature. Any extraction or anything which is related to the nature, that is, or related to the natural resource, that is primary activity. That is primary activity. See students, when we talk about agriculture, land is used, water is used, air is used, sunlight is used. So that means all natural things we are using it, that is available in the nature. Agriculture. Poultry farms, the eggs, then hens, then you can see that with that poultry farming, rearing of the hens, all that domestic hens that we people take care, rearing of the hens is a poultry farming. We sell the eggs and then there was more of the chicken that comes, and they grow, and then they give eggs, and we sell out the eggs. Then we are growing more. Okay, so this is how we keep doing and increasing the business. You can see that. Fishing, we catch the fish that is there in the ocean or in the ponds, rivers, we catch the fish. Okay, horticulture, from we grow fruits, vegetables, flowers, that is horticulture. Taking care of the cows, buffaloes, goat, cattle, sheep, then selling the milk. See, that comes anyhow. We take out the earth, plow the earth, and then we take out the minerals. Okay, that is mining. Mining is same with the quarry. So all these activities which are related to the with the nature, they are very prime. The word is prime. They are very important, and the other activities are based on this only. And without these prime activities, the other activities cannot work. So they gives a support. You can see that they provide a base to the other activities. So they are known as primary. They are known as primary. See students, what all activities comes primary. Forestry also, you can see that one more new thing. Okay, forestry, growing of the forest, cutting down of the trees, and then again planting more trees. Number two, the second sector that we people have is second sector. We have divided into different areas. Area means sectors. We have divided into sectors. So secondary activity. Manufacturing of anything is known as secondary sector. Manufacturing of anything is known come under making of the new thing, converting the new thing, transforming the new thing, conversion from a raw material to the finished product, from a raw material to the finished product comes under the manufacturing sector. In the manufacturing, that is a secondary activity. See students, suppose I have taken a flour, okay, atta. I have taken sugar, I have taken ghee or oil and other dry fruits, and with that I have baked biscuits and cake or any bun, bread bun. Okay, by taking those raw things, okay, shape, color, size, taste has changed. Have you understood? I have taken the flour, atta, sugar, ghee, oil, dry fruits. With that I have made biscuit. See, from raw, ये सारा कच्चा है. From raw, there we have converted into the finished product. From raw, converted into the finished product. Okay, so that means biscuit is a finished product. I have manufactured something. I have made something new. The shapes, size, color, taste is changed. Manufacturing. Okay, we have converted something new. We have manufactured something new. Have you understood? This is called manufacturing. Converting from the raw material to a finished product. When the things changed and conversion takes place, that process is known as manufacturing. So all manufacturing of different things come under secondary activity, or in the secondary sector. See students, we take a sugar cane. Sugar cane? We take a sugar cane. And with that sugar cane, with the help of the machine and with different process, we make sugar. From sugar cane to sugar. You can see the shape has changed. Okay, things have changed. Raw, sugar cane is raw material. Sugar is a finished product. Now it is ready to use. We can use it. So this is called manufacturing. So the process of converting the raw material into the finished product we are taking the help of the machine. So any process we are doing it, we are following any different steps we are doing it to manufacture it. That is known as manufacturing. We take cotton and we make the clothes. We take cotton and we make the clothes. We make the yarn, coloring of the yarn, and weaving is done, and then we make the cloth, and then stitching. Have you understood? So manufacturing is a secondary activity. Manufacturing is a secondary activity. See, manufacturing is called secondary activity. Natural resources are properly modified in secondary activity, changing. Modification means changing. We are changing them from a raw to the finished product. So that all those activities come under secondary activity or secondary sector. See students, the third activity, this activity where we provide labor, we provide our services. See, in this sector, in this activity, we are not manufacturing anything. We are not even growing anything, and we are not related to the nature also. Primary was related to the nature, was combined with the nature. Manufacturing was converting something, was manufacturing something. But in this sector, we are not making anything. So all the services that is provided to the people, those services come under tertiary sector. In tertiary sector, we are not manufacturing anything, we are not growing anything, we are not making anything, but we are providing our labor, we are providing our guidelines, we are providing our help, we are helping the people. In these services, these helps come under tertiary activities. These come under tertiary activity. See, doctor is not manufacturing anything. Doctor is not growing anything. Doctor is just helping with his knowledge. He is helping the people with his knowledge. He is helping the people with his productive skills. So he is providing services. Okay. So all these services come under tertiary activities. This sector is a tertiary sector, is also known as service sector. Is also known as service sector because here majority of the activities is just providing services. So you can see that mechanic, he is repairing the car. He is not manufacturing anything, he is not making anything, but he is just repairing it. So he is giving his services. He has talent to repair the car. Teacher, teaching you, giving his use, giving his knowledge, sharing his knowledge, making you and trying you to teach. He is using his skills and talent. So teacher also providing you the services. Trade, whatever business is done, that come under trade. Transport, drivers, conductors, they are taking the vehicles, driving the vehicles, running the vehicles, doing and providing the services. Communication, call centers, repair centers, consumer care, customer cares, all these communication centers. At reception, when you go to the school, at reception, there's a lady sitting there and she's helping you with all your problems. Whenever you need, whatever help you need, she's helping you out. Communication, you go and you communicate with her in any of the regard. So communication, telephones, mobile phones, internet, that all we people come under communication. Okay, banking system, bank people, they are helping you. They are taking your money, feeding, keeping in the bank, and then returning you when you want. So banking system, education system, health, all other services. When you go to a restaurant, okay, when you go to a restaurant, the waiter that comes, he is helping you, he is serving you the food. He is not manufacturing food, okay. He is not getting atta and wheat from the place and then making it. No, he is not doing. He is getting all the things ready made. He is just cooking it out. He is not. He is cooking and he is serving you. He is just serving you. Okay. There is a chef who is cooking for you. That is another tertiary activity that we have. So services. So in a tertiary sector, we provide different services. Now students, we have different activities. Some market activities and some non-market activities. Market activities and non-market activities. See students, there are so many things that you need, and you need all different basic facilities are required, and people, they also need different things for their better life. Okay, so in the market activities, when some product or service is produced and they are sold in the market, it is called market activities. It is known market activities. So students, that means we have categorized into the market activities and the non-market activities. That means same, economic activities and non-economic activities. Suppose if I say a farmer growing sugarcane, okay, he is growing sugarcane to sell it into the market. So that means he is doing a market activity. A cobbler, he is making shoes. Okay, why he is making shoes? 100 pair of shoes he is making. Why, for what? For selling it into the market. So that means he is doing the market activities. So market activities are really important for the development of an economy. And when we are talking about the development of an economy, without the market activity, a country cannot grow, a country cannot develop. So more of the market activities means more of the economic development of a country, more of the economic development of an individual. So market activities really plays a very important role in today's world. Non-market activity. Students, you can see here a slide in front of you. Non-market activity is when some product or service is produced for self-consumption. It is called non-market activities. Suppose I have a small piece of land and I am growing there. Okay, wheat. We have grown wheat. Okay, and I don't want to sell it into the market. Okay, I have grown for myself only, for my family. Okay, and we have harvested and we are using it. That means this is called non-market activities. I have two three plants of apple, banana, guava or pomegranate. I've grown in my garden. A small garden, I've grown all these things, all these plants. Two plants or three plants. So whenever season comes, we take, we consume, and I give it to my family members also. Okay, other family, if somebody lives in my neighbor, I give it to them also. So, am I selling those fruits in the market? No, I am not selling it. That all those plantation that I have done, that is for my consumption. I wanted to consume it. We wanted to eat it. I have grown it for my family. Okay. So those kind of production will not come under market, will come under non-market activities. when some product or service is produced for self-consumption, it is called non-market activity. If a farmer produces just enough to meet his family needs, then this activity is a non-market activity. Similarly, a housewife working for his family. She's cleaning the house, she's making the food, and she's taking care of her child, giving a bath to the child, and sending her child to the school. Then she's waiting that the child would come back, and she's going to serve food again, and she'll help in his or her teaching, and she will help in doing his or her homework. Then does she is earning money out of it? No, she is not earning money. So we can say that she is doing non-economic activity. But you must have seen that there are women who are working in their family, in domestic work also they do, and those female, they come and work outside also, cleaning work they do. They are earning money. That comes under economic activity. But if a mother is preparing food for the family, that will not come under the economic activity. That would be counted as non-economic activity. So students, market activity and non-market activities we have discussed. Economic activities and non-economic activities we have discussed. We have already discussed how the economic activities are divided into three categories, into three sectors: primary, secondary and tertiary sector. See students, there is another tool on the basis of all these activities and on the basis of the rules and regulation. On the basis of the rules and regulation, there are other sector also. Okay, you must have studied in class 8th or 9th on the basis of the ownership, private or public. You have studied about it. Okay, students. So on the basis of the rules and regulation, we have another two important sector which really plays a very important role, and these two sectors are organized sector and unorganized sector. Organized sector and unorganized sector. All those institutions, all those firms, all those companies are registered with the government. Okay, they come under organized sector. All those institutions, firms which are not registered, on companies and corporations and manufacturing units which are not registered with the government, they come under unorganized sector. Okay, now there is a difference between these two. Organized sector are registered. Unorganized sector, the companies, they are not registered, so they come under unorganized sector. In organized sector, they have rules and regulation, whereas in the unorganized sector, there is no rules and regulation. Okay, so we have seen that. You must have heard about that. Your parents, they keep telling you that okay, we have a government job and we are working in a private. Okay, oh, they are working in a private, so they don't have any rules and regulation. They may not be getting a salary, they may not be getting any bonus, or they may not have all those facilities that is there in the government sector. So government sector, organized sector; non-government sector, unorganized sector, where rules and regulations are not there. Fine. So students, in organized sector we have plenty of rules and regulation, and in the unorganized sector there is no rules and regulations are followed. Okay, if we go and talk about the organized sector, there is a proper appointment letter. If anybody is there, proper appointment letter is there, proper interviews are there, and they are working it, and everybody is getting a salary. Proper holidays are given to them, and their paid leaves are also given to them, and gratuity, pension, and other things are also. Working place is also very good, and they follow the different rules and regulations also. In the unorganized sector, students, they don't have any rules and regulation, and they don't pay regular wages, everyday wages they don't pay, and they don't, working hours are also not fixed with them. And if we talk about the, suppose if any person, any person is working in a shop, okay, and he has to bear, he has to work, he has to work for long working hours, and sometimes it happens that if he reaches late to the shop, or he don't go to the shop, his master scolds him very badly. And not only that, sometimes if he takes the holiday, if he doesn't come on a holiday, that day's wages are also not given to him. The boss cuts the wages, that okay, these 2 day wages you are not going to get, you didn't come to the shop. So all these kind of an institutions which are not registered, they don't follow any rules and regulation. Proper attendance, proper regularity is not there. Job security is also not there in the unorganized sector. In the organized sector, people cannot can throw you out from the company. So students, if we talk about the organized sector, they have a proper rules and regulations are there, and proper pension given, gratuity is given, leave is also given, holidays are not there. If overtime is there, overtime they work, suppose 5 to from 9 to 5 o'clock in the evening they have to work. This is a timing. If they used to work more than that, they are paid overtime. So there is a difference between organized sector and the unorganized sector. Okay, so the people who are working in the organized sector, they are getting so many privileges, so many benefits they are getting, and there are people who are working in the unorganized sector, they are not getting all those benefits that are enjoyed by the organized sector, Students, here we have another important thing that we people have. All those people who really work in an organized sector, they really earn a good income. Okay, and see, income really plays a very important role. Money really plays a very important role. So for that, when we talk about a life or a condition of the people, livelihood of a people, we can say that there has to be a quality life. Okay, and when we talk about a quality life, if we can say that okay, we can have in country, like we are talking about people as a resource, here we can talk about quality population, quality of population, quality, not the quantity, quality of population. If the people are educated, if people are healthy, if people have the productive skills, if people have a better training, and people have the expertise in different areas, or in different aspects, or in different fields, then that population is called a quality population. Every country need a quality population. Everybody wants a quality population, and for that, to make a quality population, what all we need to invest in the humans, we need to invest the literacy rate. Okay, literacy, they should be literate, they should be educated, they should be healthy. Health of a person, okay, really matters. life expectancy, if a person is going to live a healthy life, his average living years, how many years he is going to live, that average living conditions or years that he is going to live his life, that is life expectancy. And skill formation, we have seen that how Sakal has got taken a vocational training in computers, and he has developed the app and a software which has really helped the company and his firm, and his company has really earned the money. So that skill should be there, that training should be there. Okay. And if all these things are there with a person, if he is educated, if he is healthy, his life expectancy, living span of time, living span of the years of a person would be more, and if he is trained and expert in his skill, then that population is a quality population. That population is a quality population. And the quality of the population ultimately decides the growth. If we have more of the quality population in a country, then the country would definitely develop. I'll give you an example. Suppose we have country A and country B. Fine. In country A, 60% of the people are educated and 40% are not educated. Okay, 60-40. Country A, 60-40. In country B we go, we have 30% of the people they are educated and 70% people they are uneducated. 30-70. Okay, 60-40. Country A, 60 and 40. 60% people educated, 40% uneducated. I have just taken one aspect. 60% people educated, 40% people are not educated, they are illiterate. Country B has 30% of people educated and 70% of the people they are uneducated. Which country will, now we have two options. There are many other things also we people can add into it, but I have made it into a very simple words to you. 60-40, 30-70. Which country would be more developed, will definitely develop and will grow? Very good. Country A, 60% people here are educated. They will lead to a better life. Okay, and they will they have a productive skills, and they are going to get the higher jobs, better jobs, better earning, higher earning. When they are going to have the higher earning, country would automatically develop. Okay, so that means the quality population really matters a lot. Okay, so quality of population. So students, you can see that literacy rate, health and skills determine the quality of a population. Illiterate and unhealthy population can be a liability. That means the people which are illiterate and not healthy, that means they are liable population. They are not asset, they are liability for a country, for the economy. Okay, country, for the economy. Literate and healthy population can be made into an asset. Okay, they are an asset for the economy. Literate and healthy population contribute towards the GDP of a country. GDP of a country, gross domestic product of a country. What is GDP, students? You know it, that in the gross domestic product, what we have throughout the year, in a session year, in one financial year, the things that is produced by the primary sector, secondary sector and tertiary sector, the entire final products of within a year, in one financial year, the total value or the total products that we people have, that is GDP. That is GDP. So students, see, this is the second assignment you have. solve it, send it to me. Till then, stay safe, stay happy and keep learning. Thank you.